says, yes, it is.
Hello, Coyote.
Hello, yeah, it's me.
What's going on, Perry?
I don't know, I got to turn my volume down here.
Yes, you do. Please turn that radio down.
Yeah, that's where I always listen to you anyways, on the computer here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. How are you doing, Perry?
I'm doing good.
Well, that is awesome, man. I forgot about that. Perry already knew what telephone number to call.
There you go.
That's right. Well, Perry, it's great to have you on our Mud Truck Television Weekly Live Chat. Actually, you're the first official telephone guest in the history of Mud Truck TV. So there you go, Perry. Yet again, after all these years, you're still making history in the sport.
Yeah, well, it's good, I guess.
Perry, we couldn't do it without you, buddy. We love you. You're a great guy, and we love that, you know, what you do. You're a great supporter, and you're good in the sport, and you are truly a legend.
Yeah, I tried to support you. I call the radio station all the time, but I get stuck in the middle of a contest all the time.
Yeah, Perry's been caller 7 before. We see Gary Baker just come on to the chat. Hey, Gary, how are you, man? Glad you could join us tonight. We have Perry Jeepman on the line with us right now. And, Perry, what year was it when you started in the sport, man?
About 1978.
Wow, 1978. I would imagine things were quite a bit different with mud racing than they are today.
Oh, yeah, they was quite a bit different, especially on the motors and the people's stuff and the tires that everybody had.
Absolutely. Yeah, I bet everything's gotten together. You know, I guess tires is one of those things that's really evolved over the years.
Oh, yeah, I tell you, they didn't have nothing like boggers back then. Nothing worked as good as boggers does we had back then other than tractor tires.
Right. Somebody's going to have to tame down that boy right there. My 5-year-old's running around the studio like he's at home, and he's not at home.
Yeah.
But there's Mud America Willie coming on with us. Mud America Willie, how you doing, man? Gary Baker's on with us. We're talking with Perry Jeepman here on the telephone line about mud racing. He started back in the 70s, and talking about tires. You know, I guess I wonder if mud racing, of course, you know, played a role in the tire manufacturers designing different types of tread and patterns and stuff like that, you know, Perry?
I think they did. Back when we had all them indoor racing and stuff is when they started coming out with them tires, and I'm sure that's what got them started making boggers and stuff like that to so they could run them indoors, because they're made. Well, they're DOT. They're made for mud racing.
Right. That is very cool, man. You know, and now you did some races back in the day. There was like Arrowhead Stadium, the indoor stadiums, and things like that. How would you compare the crowds then as to the crowds we get now at the races?
Well, I'd say mostly we probably had some bigger crowds back then. Now the indoor racing, of course, was done in the wintertime when there was nothing else for anybody to do, so that helped pack, 60,000, 70,000 inside them stadiums.
Right. Man, 70,000 people in a stadium watching a mud race.
Well, yeah, I've been in more than one of them NFL stadiums that was sold out.
Wow. That is awesome. That is cool, man. And I'd love to see the sport get back to that point again,
Yeah, I would like to see it, but it's gonna take somebody with lots of money to do it.
You and I have talked about that before, and give your analogy of that for the folks listening out there, as far as what it would take to get those type of crowds again.
Well, to get them type of crowds again is you'd almost got to do it in a stadium like that, and to do that, you got to have somebody with enough money to rent the stadium, do the promotion, do the commercials, and have the money to pay the guys to come, so you could have the ones that you wanted to come to make sure they come to every show around the country. because we had guys back then that traveled from New York to California every weekend.
Wow, that far?
Yeah.
Man, that is awesome. And you're right. The promotion, the advertising, the television airtime, that type of thing. That's what really helps out a tremendous amount of that stuff.
Oh, it does. The advertising especially, because I've seen races go on with the right advertising in a place and sell out, and then have another race there in the same place without the advertising and nobody show up because nobody knew it was there.
Right. Yep. And, that's one of the things that Mud Truck Television, is here for, and what we're trying to do is give the sport a way, not only, to go beyond the get a DVD at the end of the race of the race you just saw. We're trying to get it out there to the people and give the sport a wide voice, and perhaps pick up some folks that have never been to a race,
Well, yeah, that's what you need. I mean, you gotta get the interest of the people that haven't been, and then let the people that been and like it know when they're at, so they can go to them.
Absolutely right, man. For sure. I agree 100%.
Absolutely.
Well, what's your take on that, Lisa and Kat?
I think that he's exactly right. I think it's going to take bigger stadiums or arenas like he once raced in back in the day. I think it's going to take way more money put out there for the advertisement, for the promotion of it. It's like anything else. You put a business on a back road, you're never going to get anybody because they're not going to know about you. So it's all about location. You put it out front so everybody can see it and they can stop. Well, same way with racing. You got to get it promoted. You got to get it out there. You got to get it seen before it's going to grow. And, we've tried to do that. Mud Truck TV tried to bring that to the forefront and get it recognized, get it promoted, get it out there. But it's still going to take some major sponsorship to take all of us to where we're trying to go with it again and bring it back like Perry Jeepman once won, and Gary Baker and all the legends like they used to run and do back in the day. So he's exactly right. I mean, it's going to take a lot more than what we're getting right now.
Yeah, and it wasn't all that many years ago that Gary Baker had TNN Network with Trucker and Tractor Power. Remember that, Perry?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And it wasn't, and even today, you can't talk to more than 2 or 3 people. Everybody I talk to, no matter what state I'm in, they all know that show. They all watch that show. It was a big part of their life,
Oh yeah, it was on there. I mean, they had that, and they had them on ESPN and stuff. And I've been there, and people all over see it. You go, when they were showing, I could go places and people would recognize me from being on TV.
That's what it's all about too, That goes a long way to get the drivers out there in the public eye, and give the fans a driver they can relate to. They find their favorite racer, they start following him around, and it helps out the sport.
Well, yeah, it does help out the sport, because when you got people that go to see you race and stuff, that's people that the promoter needs to understand that people go to see certain people run, and they got to do what they can to get them people to come to their shows.
Absolutely right, man. Well, Perry, I want to say thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm going to see if I can get some of these other guys on here to talk a little bit too. And man, that's awesome.
Hey, thank you so much, Perry, for calling and tuning in. Thanks for coming back to the live chat. No, we've been gone for a while, but as always, faithful as loyal as you can be. We love you. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to seeing you out there racing and seeing you soon.
All right. I'm going to see you nowhere else. I'll see you down at the blowout.
There you go. There you go, man. All right, Perry. Now, since you've been talking with us now, I think what we'll do is have you pick out somebody else on the chat for us to talk to, and we'll get them to call up.